Hello, welcome to Duke's Gaming, and today we're going to be painting my Chicaargork Boars for Blood Bowl. So first start off with your model. It's got a Model Air base coat using the grey, blue and the blue. And once that's dry, we're going to go in with a Citadel layer all from grey, just to paint all your trousers. Obviously remembering to do a few thin coats on this one, not to copy anybody else's. The Ortham grey is particularly thin on the blue, it comes through quite easily, so a few coats on that. I'm going to get a dry brush then and put some lead belcher, targeting specifically anything that's metal. We're trying to keep the metal look a bit bluish, so only just trying to sort of nick those corners. If you do come across anything very metal, so the claws specifically, just go nuts on those, get those as metally as possible. But the armour plates we still want to be quite blue, so we're just trying to get the edges. Okay, you can see that a little bit there. Next up we're going to go for the flesh, which is a 50-50 mix of the Citadel layer Uriel yellow and the old Citadel camo green. I think you can replace that with Gretchen green, I think is the new colour. But yeah, 50-50 mix of those two, using quite a bit of water just to make it quite fluid, so it's a bit of a tricky one to get into the recesses sometimes, but there you go, that's the skin. And then we're going to do the leather bits, or anything like the straps and the belts, and we're going to do that in Citadel base Rhinox hide. From there we're going to go and do the boots, and the boots we use a Citadel layer Eshin grey. Really like this colour for doing darks. It's not quite black, but it's a good improvement on the black. Okay, we'll do some washing, and we're going to wash the blue armour plates with Citadel Shade Drakenhof Nightshade, and this is just going to bring it back to being a bit more blue rather than almost the bluey grey that it is at the moment, so it makes it a bit more navy, a bit more like the Chicago Bears look. And then we're going to use Citadel Shade Agrex Earth Shade just to get the leather and also the trousers looking a bit dirtier, a bit orky. Too clean otherwise. Okay, once all that's dry, we're going to look at doing the skin. Now this is a two-part section for the skin. We're going to start off with the Citadel Glaze Waywatcher Green, and we're going to put that all over the skin just to give it a bit more of a mottled tone, if you like. A bit of texture of the skin really, I suppose. And then following, when that's dry, it takes a little bit of time to dry with the glazes, but when that's dry we'll go with a Citadel wash of Thraka Green just to really bring the flat muscle back, if you like, bring some more definition to that skin. Okay, when that's done you can see there's some nice texture now all over those flat surfaces. Makes it look a bit more beaten. And then we'll just put a bit of Citadel Shade non-oil over the Eshin Grey just to make it darker, and we're going to bring some life to the figure. We're going to put some highlights on it. And this is starting off with the brown, actually highlighting with Mornfang brown on this one just because I just love Mornfang brown, I think it's a very nice colour. And we've done all the browny bits there so you can see a bit more on it. And then we do the cloth, so we try to avoid the cloth before with the lead belcher dry brush because we're going to go in here using Shadow Grey, the old Citadel Shadow Grey. I think it's been replaced with Fenris Grey, the Citadel layer Fenris Grey, but I've used my old pot of Shadow Grey for this one. Of course, my favourite part of doing orcs is the teeth, and I'm using Citadel layer Canuck Stone for the teeth on this one, just to get in there, and that's when the model starts to come to life, when you start doing the teeth and the nails. Really pretty. Shows how beautiful these figures are for Blood Bowl, just really nice. And of course the fun bit everyone loves doing, is painting the eyes. And this is easy, bit of Citadel layer Evil Sun Scarlet, just pop it in there. Annoyingly with the helmets on, you can't really see the eyes very well, unless you have a good look in there. Now just to make a bit more definition on the mouth and the eyes, we're putting a bit of Agrex Earth Shade on there. Don't worry if you go too much, just wipe your brush, and then just pop it back over just to suck that shade back up into the brush. Okay, now we're going to go in and do another fun element of modelling is making it look battered. So we're going to do a bit of weathering, or a bit of battle damage if you like, and we're just using a bit of chainmail. I forget what the Citadel improvement is now. Runefang steel, I think, is it? But yeah, just make some scratches on there. And he's played a few games of Blood Bowl, this boy. Okay, so now we're going to start to make these guys look a bit more like they're from the great city of Chicago. I'm going to put a few white stripes on here. Now, the reason I'm doing white stripes is because for you NFL fans out there, the Chicago Bears have an orange stripe with a white outline, and on this scale to do a white outline over an orange stripe is crazy, so we're just going to do the white stripes first and then go in the center with an orange streak. Front of the armor plate there, we're going to put that big old C for the Chicaargork Boars. Looks a little bit familiar, slightly like the Chicago Bears, but I won't tell them if you won't. So again, start off with the white. Get that sort of orky sort of, not trying to make it pretty, like a nice curvy C, but we're trying to go for long strokes. Jagged, if you like, you know. These are orcs after all, they ain't pretty. Once that's dry, I'm going to get a nice bit of blazing orange, the Citadel blazing orange, which I think has been replaced with Fire Slayer. I'm not sure on that one. And we're just going to very carefully just draw a little orange line in there, trying to keep a bit of white on the outside so you've still got this white outline. But this is the orange, this is what we want to see, the orange and the blue. And we're going to do that on the stripes on the back of the arms as well there. And on the knee. So the numbers, they're the other way around, so it's an orange outline with a white number. So as with the white stripes, we're going to do an orange base first, still using blazing orange. And we're just going to pencil in there our background 5 for this guy. If you want to make it number 51, I've made a 51, you've got to make a 51 for a Boars team. There we go, 2 shoulder pads, and on the back plate. And then we're just going to use the Ulthram Grey this time, just to do your 5. There you go.